Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about the top 10 facts about The Boys. Now I love this show, the new season is out and I've been finding out some new bits and bobs about the show, but luckily I've done the research and I can tell you all about it. So without further ado, let's get into it. Fact number 1. So in the TV show, the beloved character of Hughie is played by Jack Quaid. But did you know that in the comic book, he was mainly based off of Simon Pegg, the beloved British actor. He was also Scottish in the comic book. Now, by the time that The Boys started shooting in 2018, it was way too late for Simon Pegg to play the character, who was supposed to be in his late 20s. However, as you'll know if you watch the show, they did eventually get Pegg in to play Hughie's dad. Also, bonus fact about Pegg, did you know that he's actually in the 2009 film Star Trek? He's in Star Trek with none other than Karl Urban, who plays Butcher in the show. Fact number 2. So in case it wasn't already obvious, the 7 in The Boys are really loosely based off DCs Justice League. If you compare them side by side, it's like uncanny. So here's a few of them. Now obviously we've got Homelander as Superman, Queen Maeve as Wonder Woman, Deep as Aquaman, A-Train as The Flash, and Black Noir as Batman. But in the later season, and especially in season 3, you can see some new characters that are brought into the show that closely resemble more Marvel characters. These do also include Soldier Boy as Captain America, Stormfront as Storm from X-Men, Ezekiel, obviously, is Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, although they use their powers a little differently, Swatto as Spider-Man, and probably the most shocking contrast from their Marvel counterpart is Termite. If you've seen the first episode of season 3 of The Boys, you know exactly who Termite is, and that is, of course, supposed to be Ant-Man. And coming in at fact number 3. So speaking of Swatto, did you know that it's just a crazy coincidence that that character even got in the show? So in one of the earlier seasons or the earlier episodes, there's a scene where Billy Butcher is speaking to the group of the boys, and there's a fly that just appears in the middle of the screen and it won't go away. Now, fans went crazy for this and they theorised and they thought, wow, that has to be Swatto. That's why they put it in there. It must be CGI. In fact, it was just genuinely a fly that entered the take and they didn't even notice when they were doing it. But because of the fan theories and them going crazy about Swatto being in the show, this then caused enough of an uproar for the producers to go, do you know what? Let's put him in. And now you can see him in season 3. And now on to fact number 4. So did you know in season 1, when Starlight first gets her suit, she's greeted by Homelander and some of the PR women, and there's obviously a designer there that did the suit. But did you know that that designer who gives her so much backlash and feedback when she says she doesn't like the suit is based off Edna from The Incredibles? And if you go back and look at them, you can see the uncanny resemblance and also the same mannerisms.
I designed Homelander's suit. This isn't my first rodeo.
The important thing is that the student tracker anticipated the change and alerted you.
And now with fact number 5. So several of the actors within The Boys have already shared on-screen appearances with each other multiple times. To name a few, there are Colby Miniffy, who plays Ashley, and Erin Moriarty, who plays Starlight, both appear in the first season of Jessica Jones. Karl Urban, who plays Butcher, and Anthony Starr, who plays the one and only Homelander, both being from New Zealand, have already shared a screen in Xena, Warrior Princess. Claudia Dummett, who plays Victoria Newman, Chantal Van Statten, who plays Becca Butcher, Malcolm Barrett, who plays Seth Reed, and Goran Visnik, who plays Alistair Adana, all work together in the series Timeless. But aside from those shows, I think the weirdest one of all is the connection it has to The Wolf of Wall Street. Both BJ Byrne, who plays Adam Bork, and Aya Cash, who plays Stormfront, both have roles in the 2014 mega hit. Swiftly on to fact number 6. And speaking of BJ Byrne and Aya Cash, did you know that they have the weirdest connection to one of the main cast's father and also the Jaws franchise? Let me explain. So, both PJ and Aya worked with the actress Janet Vardy. Vardy recorded the riff tracks commentary on Jaws 3. Jaws 3 starred Dennis Quaid, who is none other than Jack Quaid's father, and Jack Quaid being Hughie. Also, side note, if you've never seen Jaws 3 before, don't ever watch it. Don't compare it to the first film, which is a work of art. Just saying. And now with fact number 7. So speaking of the one and only Dennis Quaid, did you know he's got another connection to the show? Let me explain this one. So I know we spoke before earlier about how Black Noir is actually a nod to Batman, but in actuality the creators of The Boys used Snake Eyes from the huge G.I. Joe franchise as a reference for Black Noir's design. But did you know Jack Quaid, or Hughie, grew up being a huge fan of G.I. Joe, and especially that of Snake Eyes? And Jack loved it so much that he convinced his father, Dennis, to play General Hawk in the big screen adaptation of G.I. Joe, Rise of the Cobra in 2009. Now with fact number 8, did you know that one of the main people involved in getting The Boys off its feet and getting it out there to the public was none other than Seth Rogen? Co-creator Garth Ennis has worked with Rogen to bring The Boys and Preacher to the small screen. Seth and his writing partner Evan Goldberg, who created Superbad, were actually set to direct the pilot episode, but they were ultimately replaced due to scheduling conflicts. And fact number 9, So did you know that Shawn Ashmore, who plays Lamplighter in The Boys, actually played Bobby Drake, or Iceman, in the X-Men franchise? Coincidentally, his powers in The Boys are completely polar opposite to that of his in X-Men. In The Boys, his powers are identical to that of Pyro, Iceman's nemesis in X-Men 2 and X-Men Last Stand. Was that just a coincidence? I think the casting directors were just sort of taking the piss with that one a little bit, but whatever. It worked. We love him. Well done to you, Shawn. And moving on to fact number 10. Did you know that speaking of the X-Men franchise, the HQ for the Seven in The Boys is actually featured as one of the filming locations in the first installment of X-Men? The main filming location for the Seven HQ is the Roy Thompson Concert Hall in downtown Toronto, Canada. You'll notice a giant X support, which is a very fitting background as the same location is used in a very early scene in the first installment of the X-Men franchise. And that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you could comment below what you want me to do next, I'll be happy to do it for you. I love digging into these sorts of things. But thank you so much for watching. If you could like and subscribe below, that would mean a lot. And I will catch you on the next one. Bye.